everybody. Welcome to the Litecoin Lisa show. I do not know. I just got totally thrown off. Wow. Okay. We are live and got Carly waiting behind the scenes. So we will catch you guys up and I will read my notes so I know what the heck is going on here on the new normal. Be right back right after this. Give us a like, share this video. Hey there, Carly. I was totally thrown off. Sorry. We just got a call from my attorney and had that all playing in my head. So got thrown off there, but thank you for joining me. I'm excited. We've been talking about Mighty Siren and what we're going to do with Mighty Siren and supporting women in taking their personal responsibility for their heart, mind, body, and their wallet. And we talked about doing a book study I guess you'd call it a book club or a book study. And I know we both found a lot of help in reading Boundaries by Cloud and Towson. And so I think that's going to be our first one that we do together. You had a pretty amazing post this morning on Facebook, which I thought was like the perfect kind of intro or roll in kind of example. I don't know. Do you want to kind of intro it or launch into kind of how learning your personal boundaries helped you take responsibility for your body and your safety and
like tell the story or talk about boundaries?
However you want to. I mean, I think it kind of goes hand in hand. However you want to do that.
You threw me off, but I will try.
Okay.
You are making me think too hard now. Can we come back?
Yeah. You want me to share your Facebook?
I don't know. Are you wanting me to tell the story or talk about?
I think they go hand in hand.
Okay, bye.
I think that it really goes hand in hand. So tell the story of what happened that you posted on Facebook.
So I was at the car wash and everyone's distracting me and my face is turning red and now I'm getting sweaty.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Go away, please.
Is that your husband? Here, I can share the post right here.
Yeah.
This is Shijitsu. So Jennifer Gray, who is your professor, our professor once I start back again, in Jiu-Jitsu, had a video on Wellness Wednesday on Channel 9 talking about her self-defense class that she offers, which I think is really cool. And she's promoting her self-defense class. And so you shared that video that she did, and then you were talking about Shijitsu. And you say, in this video, Jen talks about how she sees women hold themselves differently. I think you're talking about like how women carry themselves, their body, and you said, I can say that I'm one of those people. I used to keep my head down and make myself as small as possible when I was in public, thinking no one would look at me. I didn't realize that made me so much more of a target. Life's different now with the confidence I have. And then you start talking about vacuuming your car. So then you want to tell that story.
Yeah, so I put an example just so people could like get a sense of like realness, because everyone's been in a situation like this. Like you might even be a full grown man. You've probably been made uncomfortable by someone in your life. And I was vacuuming out my car, and when you're vacuuming out your car, vacuum is super loud. You can't hear
Yeah.
anything. It's like you're in like a tunnel because you're in your car. You can't see anything, can't hear anything, and you're bent over. So I was in a very vulnerable position already. And I'm one of those people that ever since I started taking shijutsu classes, I have been like watching my back. Like we make jokes about how we all look super crazy and paranoid because we're looking around constantly. And so I'm looking around as I'm doing it, and every time I pop out of my car, I look around and I notice a guy walking by on the street, so I take a note of that, and I say, okay, when I think he's closer, I'm gonna pop up again and look. So I pop up again and look, and he's sitting under some of the car parks, like in the shade. And I think, okay, he looks homeless, so there's probably nothing wrong with it. He's probably just getting some shade. And so then I'm like, okay, dang, this guy will not stop staring at me. So I walk around to the other side of my car, and I'm like, whatever, just got out of his line of sight, no big deal. And then he goes around to the other side of my car, puts his stuff down, and starts staring at me again. And so I made eye contact with him at that point, kind of like it made very direct
Like, I
eye
see
contact.
you.
I see you, and it was literally like he knows I saw him, everything. So after he followed me to watch me again, I go around to the other side of my car where I was originally before I moved, and he picked up his stuff again and moved over to where he could see me. So I went and got help, and I just had someone stand on the side of the car and watch my back while I finished vacuuming out my seats. But the point of that whole post was a year ago, before shijutsu, I would have immediately gotten uncomfortable by the guy sitting too close to me and staring at me. I would have packed up my stuff and left and missed the opportunity to vacuum out my cars when I wanted to. And so instead, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared. I wasn't like shaking like I normally do when I get like in situations like that. And it was just like a whole new realization where I don't have to be afraid because it
Right.
didn't even, I was just aware. It wasn't a what if he got close to me? What if he, like, I saw him the minute he came up, I saw him, and I made that eye contact with him, and that gave me enough confidence to be like, okay,
And then you put boundaries in place. You
yeah,
moved your body to the other side of the vehicle. When
okay,
that didn't work, you went and got someone to watch your back.
yeah. And I was like,
Um,
you're not kicking me out of here. Maybe a year ago I would have left, but
yeah. But you had the confidence, and because you've learned to protect yourself and take self-defense classes and shijutsu, jujitsu, you have put those boundaries. You've taken personal responsibility to
mhm,
protect yourself, and that's one of those things. And so that's where I really think that you've empowered yourself
yeah,
to protect yourself, and that's where you've given. Because of that, you weren't you have freedom now. You were like, no, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to
yeah,
have to leave and not be able to vacuum my car. You
right.
weren't,
Because
a
somebody's
prisoner of
comfortable,
somebody else's actions.
right,
He didn't get to run you off. You were free in that moment to continue with your actions of what you wanted to do, and you
right,
weren't didn't let somebody else, put their crap on you. So
right,
that's why I think boundaries are so important, and that's what I really want to start off our Mighty Siren, series with that book, so we can really empower people. And you can use it in so many areas of your life, whether that's with relationships, with your spouse, your friends, even like that with a stranger, putting boundaries in place. Uh, so I think it's going to be really important, a really important study for all of us to do together. So what we're going to do, the way that we're going to do this book study is, if you guys, we're after this show, I'm going to get it set up through Patreon, but we're going to do a $10 a month book study series, and Carly and I will have a Telegram group just for Mighty Siren. And what you do is you'll join on Patreon, and then that will give you the Telegram link, that will be able to have all that communication with the group. And once a month, we'll do a live Zoom call with that group. And we're going to do that on the second Saturday of every month. So our first Telegram or Zoom call will be on September 10th at 10 a.m. every month. So we'll have the constant communication on Telegram for the book study. And the reason that I'm not starting it till then is Carly and my mom and I are each going to share a story where we've learned boundaries on the show on Mondays leading up to this point. But I wanted to give enough time to recruit some more people to join us in the book study, and also for people to go to Amazon.com or wherever your local bookstore and order the book. And I'm also getting the workbook. Let's see, and I'll screen share that with you guys too. But it's Boundaries by Cloud and Towson. There's a book and there's a workbook. And right now we're just having this opportunity for women. We want it to be a safe place for women too, because that's what we're focusing on right now, is to empower women to find freedom by taking personal responsibility for their heart, mind, body, and their wallet. So, because that's what we have personal experience with. So if you are interested in joining us, I'll also put a post on my website, likequeenlisa.net, that'll have links to go to my Patreon. Right now, there's a link in the description of this video on YouTube to go to Patreon. And after the show, like I said, I'll get it all set up. I wanted to talk to Carly and make sure we were all in agreement with how to do this, and make sure that we were encouraging as many people to join us as we could, and make sure that we felt like it was a good value to everybody, what we were bringing to the table and what we were going to share with everybody. But this is the book. It's Boundaries, the updated and expanded edition. When to Say Yes, How to Say No and Take Control of Your Life. This is the book. And then there's a workbook as well. If you want to do the workbook, you don't have to buy the workbook to be a part of the group. I'm just going to buy the workbook and to help with discussion, and that's probably some of the stuff that I'll post in the Telegram group. So if you want to just get the book to follow along and do the book study with us, then we'll or the book club, then we'll do that together. But I'm pretty excited about it because it's just one of those things. I used to read this book once a year after my divorce. It was something that was really important to me, just to take control of my life and my situation. I shared with Carly, there's another group that I follow on Twitter that's like End Narcissistic Abuse. And I was sharing a post from that, because when you're in some of those really unhealthy relationships, it can really, mess your mind up. And there's this one group that has some pretty great posts. So, and what else were we going to talk about today? That's pretty much it. I just wanted to really kick that off, make sure that we had shared all of that stuff, and we'll be including some health and wellness things on that. I did talk to Dr. McDaniel about some of his products, and so we'll be continuing to share those as well. But I'd love to see some people, if you know people that are struggling right now. I also have some other friends that I talked to this weekend, that a friend that she was a caregiver, and she was really struggling with her boundaries and not taking care of herself. And she's like, oh, you had kids with special needs, and, went through divorce and all these different things. And how did you do it and still take care of yourself? And, we all learn to give and take different ways, but you've got to always put those boundaries up. And we all have those stories with people in our life that will sometimes take a little more than give, and you love them, but your help can be right here, and you can still love them. They can't take all of you, And so if you're going to continue to have a relationship with them, then you have to put those boundaries up, or you can't allow them to be in your life. And so that's the way that you can be around people that you love, but that aren't always that healthy and don't make good choices. So, and I think we all have a couple of those in our life. So
Mhm.
I definitely want to help people with that. Um, you have what's going on in your world as far as jujitsu and
Mm. These crazy dogs. I'm sorry if you can
is
hear.
that the dogs running in and out? I thought that was
I
Matthew in the kitchen or something.
No, that's the freaking dog. That's why, like, when you asked me that, I'm so sorry. You asked me that.
I thought, speaking
You
of needing
the
boundaries, no,
dogs are running around and Matt's coming in, and like I'm like, please, I don't even know where to
that's
start.
hilarious.
I'm sorry,
No, that's hilarious.
but
Well, we'll learn boundaries, Carly.
yes,
Maybe we'll set up your studio in your jujitsu
that's
room.
what I need to do is just put like a bean bag in there or something and just go
Yeah.
there.
Well,
But
yeah, one of her guest rooms at her house is set up as a jujitsu room. So, which is
just
very
mats
cool.
on the floor, really.
Yeah. That's what I need to do is come over to your house and let you do
We could do like
private,
little privates, yeah,
yeah, do private for me until
and
they get the air conditioner working at the gym.
yeah,
Because I just cannot do but I really enjoyed when you had me come to the jujitsu stuff.
yeah.
And it felt really empowering too. I felt like I learned a lot. And
Just wait till you get it a little bit more and you come on the days like the co-ed days are really really fun because I've finally gotten to the point where I can roll with men bigger than me, and as long as they're not as advanced as me or more advanced, I've actually like gotten submissions on men bigger than me, and it's really empowering to choke a person or break a person's arm.
well, you don't actually break their
Well,
arm.
you don't actually do it. They tap, but if
Yeah.
they don't tap, then you do it.
So, yeah, that's one thing. Like when I was going to the classes with you, um, you get kind of into it. And then,
hmm
like, I got a little too aggressive there a couple times because I was like,
No, you were holding back.
but I was like doing the move and then you like, I don't know, you get into it and then they're like,
It was confusing at first because we didn't really, and this is my bad, I didn't explain to you that when the first part of the class is drilling, so you're like compliant with your partner, and
yeah,
then the coach might say, okay, add resistance. And I didn't really explain what resistance is versus rolling. Like they sound the same
okay,
because you're defending, but you're also defending while rolling. So it was confusing, but
yeah,
you did great. You did everything right.
yeah.
You're overthinking it.
It's I really enjoyed it. I'm ready to go back as soon as it cools off a little bit. Can't
Good.
believe how cool it is today,
I
but
know it was 105 yesterday, and it's like
75
yeah,
today.
75. It's
Yeah,
great.
I probably should go, but anyway. Um,
You should.
but it's an advanced day today, so I'm probably not going today.
That's fair.
If it
Which
was a beginner's day, I would consider it, but
I think both days are now kind of like everyone just shows up. Really.
because people are enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Um, so you're advancing because you're
Still white belt.
still a white belt.
Yeah.
And the way that Jen does it, she does advances on skill level because Cannon's he's
Yeah.
at a children's like place,
Yeah.
and
Every
you
professor
advance
does
on
it
like
differently.
time.
Yeah. Some professors will like take note and say you need to complete this and this and this and you need to come to this and this and this and like have cards and stuff for you to do, and then some people are like, okay, well, roll with me, and to be honest I like that better because they're actually getting like Jen rolls with there's a lot of girls in Shijitsu and she rolls with every single one of them and takes
Mhm.
mental notes every single time because she can tell me something different about the way I'm rolling every time I do it. She's like, oh, you're doing this more. Oh, you're doing this more. Oh, and she notices.
She notices you're advancing.
That's what I
Yeah,
like. Yeah.
that's cool. So you feel like you're learning that, and then that's helping you build confidence. And
Man,
how does that affect your in other areas of your life?
I literally, like she was saying that, like the post I in the first part of the post I said, once you do this for like long enough, she's seen a lot of people like just walk and talk and hold themselves differently. And I've always had, it was weird in high school. I kind of put on this like fake confidence, but I was just mean. And then that got like kicked out of me and broken out of me when I was like 18 and growing older. And then I just started feeling like way low on myself, and like I wasn't strong enough or powerful enough to do anything. And a relationship I was in made me feel that way. And then once I started Shijitsu, I literally like I noticed a difference in the way that I walk. I used to be like, oh my god, people are looking at me, people are looking at me, and now I walk in and I'm like, I hope people are looking at me. Like, I hope they see like my head held high, my shoulders back, like the confidence, and I hope they go like, oh, who does she think she is?
Yeah. Well, because you've earned it with what
Yeah.
you're, with what you're learning and growing and, putting the work in with your jujitsu stuff
Yeah.
um, and all that. So I think that's really cool. And I think it's interesting too, the group of women that are attracted to the jujitsu because they're really a lot of really humble people, and most of them want to help and train other people. Like when I've been there, almost everybody is willing to roll with me or help coach me on something,
Yeah.
help the other people. Like everybody is looking to pour into someone else. Is that something that you have seen throughout the whole thing?
Yeah, there's a few people there that are like, just there to work on themselves, and that's just like kind of who they are as a person. Like just in life, like when you go into a workplace and you have some people that are just like, I'm gonna work on myself, I'm gonna get my own raise. And then you have some people that are like, hey, here's a tip and a trick. It's same as jujitsu. There's some, like me, I work on myself on some days, like on co-ed days, I work on myself. But on shijitsu days, I'm rolling with the kids, I'm rolling with the newbies, I'm trying to like make everyone make friends. Like I'm trying to just
Oh,
make
yeah.
everyone feel happy and comfortable. But on like the co-ed days, it's like me time because I'm also getting ready for competition. So
And have a good experience with that for
yeah,
sure. Yeah. I would love to do, as we build this group with I think the book study is kind of like the base of that group.
yeah,
But I'm hoping to build community through that group and then eventually have like some meetups with that and some women's groups that where we can, incorporate some of the maybe self-defense classes or things like that. Bring you and Jen in to teach some of those things so we can really inspire women to, build that confidence for themselves. And
yeah.
I think that would be really powerful for women too.
I agree.
Yeah. And we can all go to the shooting range too.
Yeah,
Whatever everybody feels comfortable with, like that, whatever that is that empowers you to just get educated in it and make sure that you really, support yourself in that way of bringing those, those
yeah.
pieces in. So I think that's the most important thing for sure. Definitely. What are you doing health wise? I know you're, exercising and lifting and doing jujitsu. What are you doing nutritionally?
I'm not
Um,
gonna lie. I go through like spurts of, oh, I'm eating really clean and healthy, and then like yesterday I ate 3 pieces of calzone. So I'm not gonna lie. I am not doing
so
real good
unlike you.
on the healthy part of this right now, but
Yeah.
I work out every day. So, well, except for like 2 days a week, but doing that lets me have a lot of freedom in my diet. But also like I eat junk, but I still make sure to like take my vitamins, drink my water, get my
Yeah.
protein, get my vegetables.
Well, I
But
guess that's good though, because then it's not so hardcore rigid that you can't
yeah,
enjoy yourself. Like you said, have some pizza or have
right.
something like that when you're with friends or
I was
whatever.
I just wanted 3 pieces of calzone.
There you go. And then you're not so restrictive. So that's good. Yeah. Too much of anything is not good, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Too much working out is even bad for your body.
Well, I guess that's true. That's where I want to get you that New Eden stuff. I'll probably bring it by tomorrow. I've got to run some errands. Um, because when we were talking with Dr. McDaniel about the studies with the athletes and the recovery rate was so much quicker, and so then the athletes were able to train more because they had a quicker recovery rate.
I need that.
Yeah. And then yesterday or Monday, we were talking with him, and he got another report back from a military hospital or veterans hospital, and they actually were taking people off of transplant lists.
Really?
Yeah. So now I told Cannon that, and so he's taking it. Before I was having a hard time getting him to take it consistently, but I told him that. I was like, they literally took people off of heart, lung, and
That kid
something.
does not want to be in the hospital again.
Yeah.
Doing
Well, if we can avoid his heart transplant, I mean,
right
that's huge.
at all costs.
And then Dr. McDaniel was saying he's trying to get enough people, which I'm gonna get the specifics of how many people he needs and what the qualifications are, but he's trying to get enough people to have a consistent study. So he needs people over 50 that have taken the product for more than a year and then have this telomere test that costs $200, which I'm like, I think
Why over 50? Is that just because he wants like this?
it's about how anti-aging
Okay.
effects of the product. If there are testing to see if there are anti-aging effects. And so I think we have enough people in between our groups and our communities that know each other. I also want to get him connected with Ken from C60 because I think they have a lot of crossover
Definitely. Yeah.
in their studies and maybe could help each other with their information. So that's kind of my next goals with some of that stuff. But I think it's pretty exciting. And that's where there was some news today with the CDC is like revamping everything and admitting that they didn't handle the grain infection very well. And
Sorry.
whoops, oh, you're okay. So I was going to go through just some of they're saying tonight okay, wait, I'll go back to my CDC thing real quick. Some of this I read while I was at the dentist, so I don't have tweets on it, but I was watching Bloomberg like crazy. Yeah, it's not on my Twitter, but I'll have to go off memory. So you guys check into that. That's a huge announcement. There were some really big announcements today. I'm sure with it being the 17th, that's probably a big part of it. But northern lights are possible tonight across much of the northern U.S., not in Oklahoma. We don't get to see it, but
That's been a dream of mine ever
oh,
since.
me too. I've wanted to see the northern lights forever. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Most of Canada and much of the northern U.S. are supposed to be able to see. Let's see. Then let's see. That's a DeSantis thing. There's a big thing on about BlackRock. Constitution Day is coming up on September 16th and 17th. I think that's going to be significant. Sarah Palin won and will be moving forward for the election in Alaska. We know Liz Cheney lost last night in Wyoming, so that was good. The fifth body was found, human remains at Lake Mead. That was disturbing, but I think that's some countdown of some kind. Boeing has joined a huge White House-backed manufacturing program, and they are going to be using 3D printing in Oklahoma. So Boeing is in Oklahoma, and they're using 3D printing for the chips and stuff for the what is it called? The things that are. Hold on, let me open this article up. Okay. White House back compact to help US-based suppliers increase the use of 3D printing and other advanced manufacturing technologies. Um, boost suppliers' use of additive manufacturing driven by 3D printing. The technology allows complex shapes to be built in layers from particles of plastic or metal. So, um, and remember that Oklahoma got that grant or that bid, sorry, not a grant, a bid for the world's largest manufacturing plant as well. Um, so that's going to be kicking out here pretty quick. Um, the program Additive Manufacturing Forward is organized by a nonprofit applied science technology research organization, which is called Astro America. The supply chain crisis isn't just about building out ports, it's about building up our parts right here in America in small business factories. Raytheon Technologies, Siemens Energy, Honeywell, Lockheed Martin, and Gen Aviation were the initial companies to make commitments. Manufacturers say that they'll purchase additively produced parts from smaller U.S. suppliers. Trained suppliers will work in new additive technology, provide technical assistance, and engage in standards development and certification. Boeing and Northrop Grumman both aim to increase the number of small and medium-sized suppliers competing over quoted packages for products using additive manufacturing. Boeing will also aim to increase its qualified small and medium supplier capacity by 30% and provide technical guidance to meet qualification requirements. So pretty exciting stuff there. I just have a couple other news things. Oh, Apple which their stock went up huge today. They're reportedly in talks to make Apple watches and MacBooks in Vietnam. So they're moving their manufacturing out of China and into Vietnam. I think that's huge.
Yeah.
They already make their iPod or earpods in Vietnam. To get rid of the supply chain issues that they have. Crypto.com gets UK regulatory approval. There was also like a huge thing with Israel and Turkey coming to a peace agreement. And some medication called Bluebird for people with blood disorders got approved today. That was super sketchy. I'm really not sure, but
You know what kind of blood disorder?
I don't know. I'll have to look into it more. I just could read it on the Bloomberg thing, but I don't know. It makes me wonder if that's going to be a healing thing for people that got the jab.
Interesting.
Philips parts ways with the CEO in the midst of a massive recall. So there was a huge recall on, let's see, oops, wrong screen. There was a huge recall on sleep apnea machines. If you have a Philips sleep apnea machine, they were shown to cause cancer, the foam or something on them. And yeah, and so their CEO is stepping down. But this story is real sketch, and they're also recalling a lot of the ventilators and that cause deaths is what this.
No way.
That's what it said.
Oh
So
my God.
you guys know what that's about.
Yeah.
But we can't talk about it on here. Then this is another thing. So you guys remember a while back, our other daughter, Charlie's daughter, went to a appointment for a job interview at a children's juvenile center, and she was like, "Yeah, they were talking about how they're changing the way all the juvenile prisons are going to be done, and they're going to be more therapeutic, like the way they do them in a was it New Zealand or in, now I can't remember what country it was, but more of like a therapeutic, like rehab kind of way. And then this article comes out and it says kids for cash. Judges are ordered to pay more than 200 million. And this story comes out where it's a scheme to send kids to children to profit jails. And we've talked about this on the show before, where all our jail system is so criminal because it's a for profit. Basically, they're like slave camps, and they sent kids for like minor, for like petty theft for as young as 8 years old to
What?
jail. Yes.
That's absurd.
It's sick, for kickbacks. So, because then the judges would get money from the jails, from the prisons. Also, there were some other really huge stories. Chinese military sending troops to Russia for joint exercise. Thought that was strange. Biden administration is going to stop purchases of the great infection, treatments and tests as early as this fall. And this is what the White House, response coordinator has said. So that's very interesting. And then with that, there was an announcement that the CDC is completely revamping because they admit they handled it very badly. And so I think that's very interesting. The Manchin admits the Inflation Reduction Act will not reduce inflation. This is bizarre to me that R. Kelly was chosen to be in a child pornography. He was picked for jury trial in a child pornography and trial fixing case, considering his history. You guys can do your own research on that. Let's see. Oh, this was huge too. Russia proposes new standard to compete with the rigged LBMA. And so this is more information about also, was it this one with the Sri Lanka? Let me double check. See, I don't like the way this shares now. It doesn't take you guys with me. Brave tab. So it says Russia proposes a new international standard for trading precious metals. The Moscow World Standard, which will become an alternative to the London Bullion Market Association, or the LBMA, which systematically manipulates precious metal markets to a depressed price. So this should get rid of the LBMA, which should clear up, or I think this possibly could, make gold prices, the gold manipulation stop. I would be curious to see what Bix thinks of this. But the basis of the new structure will be a new specialized international precious metals brokerage headquartered in Moscow, which will rely on the MWS. Also proposes a committee for fixing precious metals prices composed of central banks. Oh, that's not encouraging. And the largest banks of countries that are members of the Eurasian Economic Union, which is Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, whatever, and Russia, that currently have a presence on the precious metals market. There was also a story about Turkey and Saudi Arabia, I think it was. Oh man, I wish I had my phone in my hand. This was also came out last night, a disturbing clip of young Ariana Grande sexualized on Nickelodeon.
I heard that Dan Schneider guy is pretty sketchy.
Dan Schneider? Who's that?
Nickelodeon, or was that Disney? No, Nickelodeon guy who basically was gosh dang it, the CEO of Nickelodeon, and he has had as videos. Someone posted a video of him walking around with his own phone on the cast, and the way that the girls were responding to him was very weird. They were like uncomfortable, and they didn't want to
Really?
see it. Yeah, everyone. It was weird. I wish I could find it. I tried to find it yesterday.
Interesting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is very creepy. So I guess the videos came from a segment on a show called The Cat's Random Thoughts, where Grande's character showed thoughts on random subjects. Yeah, that's written by Dan Schneider.
Yeah, yeah.
The clip has sparked fresh controversy on the TV network Nickelodeon. Its creators recently faced grim accusations from former teen actor and Grande's co-star Jeanette McCurdy. So I think more and more of this stuff will start coming out.
So too.
So
They're the
hopefully.
one that started. I mean, they're not the one, but they definitely played a big part in teenage girls dressing the way that they do. I remember being 12 watching the show, and the girls were wearing like crop tops and their bras were showing, and they were wearing
Mhm.
short shorts and all that. And there's even an episode where they go to the beach and these guys like go spray them with water guns, and the girls like have their boobs out and are like, ah, like opening them. It's weird.
Oh, thankfully it wasn't sharing the screen of where I was reading that. Yeah, that was really creepy.
Yeah.
Well, there's more and more of that coming out, I think, and there's also some of these Netflix shows and Hulu shows and Prime. I think we started watching a show called, oh, now I'm gonna forget what it's called. It's not well, maybe it is called Starry Night or something Night. Oh, if I could ask Charlie. Um, it's like, and I think it's on Prime. And literally, this guy has like a bunker, and then it's a thing that it's a portal to space, and it says that there's like reptilian overlords that are trans that are using that to like come get people or whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is how there's more and more. And then if you watch Angels and Demons on Hulu, it tells like the whole Victoria's Secret ugliness, and the Les Wexner stories, and that even has like the Clinton stuff in it. Um, everybody should go watch that. Uh, so I think people are going to be I think something's going to happen and people are going to be watching lots of those shows, because for a long time there was like nothing on, and now all of a sudden there's all these like documentary kind of
Oh my god, yeah.
movies on, or things that would wake people up
Yeah.
if they knew about them. So anyway, maybe he'll respond to me here in a sec. He's working on the turd, the brown Mercedes, because it's not hot outside today, so he and Cannon are out working on it. Aw, there's Tilly, the wonder pup. She's so cute.
Yes.
Is her hair growing back out?
Not really. It's gonna take like another 2 months for it to fully grow out.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
I'm so mad.
they cut all her hair off. Crazy. Well, I ordered our books and the workbooks, and I'll get the Patreon level started up so we can get that Telegram group started, but hopefully we can get some people to join us. I thought about Bailey, and I don't know if her mom would want to join, because we were talking about some of that stuff and what she's been going through, and it might be something really helpful with all the stuff, that she just lost her parents and all that. So, and mom wants to come on. Nana's going to come on and share some of her stuff.
Awesome.
Too. So, yeah. Oh, and eggs are up 44% over last year. I saw that on a post too. Nana's talking about her eggs and her chickens in the chat.
She's gonna be making some money.
Yeah. She can go down to the little town square and
Start
sell
selling
her
a carton
eggs.
of eggs for $20.
Yeah, there you go. Craziness. All right. Well, I won't keep you guys any longer, but just want to make the announcement that we are starting the book club, and you guys can join us there. So happy to do that. I love it. It's a great book. So join us over on Patreon, and check it out on likecoinlisa.net and on my Patreon channel. We'll have that link there to join the book club for joining me and Carly and Nana, on Telegram for that chat. And I think it'll
There's
be great.
also an audio version for you people who don't like reading, because I
Oh,
have the audio version.
cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. That's great, because then when you're working out or
That's
walking around the house, do whatever, then you don't have to be like,
just listen.
yeah, I might order the
I
audio
love
version
it.
too.
I love it. I'll put it
Sounds
on while I'm driving.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me, Carly. I appreciate it. And I like having younger perspective on all this stuff because life is so different now in this crazy world we live in. So appreciate you. All right. Talk to you soon.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.